It's Week 7 of the National Football League, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Texans and the Raiders. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Houston Texans and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too come in off the bye, so we should have two teams that are eager to get back at it.
And players are creatures of habit. You can bet they enjoyed the time off, but you know they're also ready to get right back into the swing of things.
Las Vegas. And no run back on the opening kickoff. They'll come out to the 25. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Mills looking to the air right away. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go play action. Mills. Escaping the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down. That's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Mills now. He's letting it fly for Cooks. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Roughing the tackle. Defense.
Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had him on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Working out of the gun, Mills. That's underneath to Pierce. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Pierce will try to pick it up, and he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback at 6'2" out of Auburn. It's Jarrett Stidham.
So no advantage in this game for either quarterback in terms of coming off that open week, huh?
Yeah, they both had byes.
Both had them, so you got to figure both of them went back, watched some extra tape, polished up their game, checked out their fundamentals, but they also both had an extra week to prepare for each other's defenses. This could be a whole lot of fun.
On 1st down, Stidham. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. The Raiders at 2-3 here to begin the new season. They come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Up from his safety spot to charge in and make the play, Landon Collins. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Stidham. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Stidham from the shotgun. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the 6th sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big 1st down to get away from the end zone. A 1st down throw for Mills. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Play action now. Mills. That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
On play action, Mills.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
A young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
We're scoreless after one.
Texans football to start quarter two. Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
To throw, Mills.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. He's at the 40. 20. 10.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
A great play there. His first touchdown of the year.
And the Raiders take the block field goal and convert it into 6 points.
Well, we did, in fact, get our first points of the game on the field goal attempt. Just, maybe not the way that we expected with a return the other direction.
And right now, you know what's popping into my brain? That adage every coach says to us, if you block a kick and score off of it, 95% of the time, your team wins the game. I can't quantify the numbers, but it certainly seems to work out that way.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either. And it's 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded right around the 8. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Kind of a throwback weekend for our primetime games here in Week 7. Later tonight, a couple of the great AFC teams of the 70s do battle. The Steelers and Dolphins from Miami on Sunday night, and the Night football, Bears and Patriots from Foxborough, a rematch of Super Bowl 20. Bears won that one 46-10. But fear not for the Patriots, if I remember correctly, and they've won a few in the years following.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on foot.
On second down, here's Pierce.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
You were thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. Right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Another carry for Pierce. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
The Texans on 3rd down.
Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last one.
And the Raiders have got him. That's Crosby. That is now 2 sacks for him here this first half. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And Abdullah lost the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I'd never return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play. I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play.
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. 3rd and short yardage, Mills. And they try to set up the screen, but that almost disaster as it falls incomplete. Very nearly a turnover, but it's 4th down. Hopkins' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled it to 20. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that Play did on the last one.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. Now it's Stidham. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for Vegas. 43 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive. And these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Stidham. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. That's going to be caught at the
10-yard line. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Carlson able to put this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now, 10-3. So he's been on that to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal winner.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fielded right around the 8.
Oh, good return up past the 30.
Houston set to take over. Now, they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open league last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season, for the things going the way they have earlier this year?
From the 39, Mills to Pierce. They set up the screen.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Anthony Everett picks it, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I should have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
All start. Offense.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Here's Stidham. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And it's complete to Adams. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Stidham going back to the air. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Stidham. And he's got Renfro in the end zone. Touchdown Raiders. Great effort there. This 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Carlson now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Hunter Renfrow who capped things off with a touchdown reception. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the 10. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Throwing, Mills. Delivers another one to Pierce. That's room to run now. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. Mills. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Jameis Winston leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head east to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. J.K. Dobbins, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Joe Burrow, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for the Texans. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half. Both teams making their final adjustments before we get started once again. And for the call of the second half, let's send you back out to Allegiant Stadium and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
Now it's Stidham. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
To throw is Stidham. Open man, that's Renfro. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Here's Stidham to throw.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Stidham. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets them the first. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Off the play fake, here's Stidham. Able to find Waller, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And he's got Renfro in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
A great play there. The 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it was Hunter Renfro who capped things off with a touchdown reception.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Mills. That's underneath to Pierce.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
first down throw for Mills. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Pierce. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage after the catch as that played good for 30 and a first. Mills again. Trucks over him. That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Throwing again on second down. Mills. And a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And now off to the races down the right side. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Carlson now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. But we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action now. Mills. Open man is... The ball comes out. And the Raiders have recovered. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 3 quarters have come and gone.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they'll try to throw here. Mills. And that's complete downfield to Cooks.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Pierce takes it straight ahead.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Pierce. Touchdown, Houston. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Taken in at the 3.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. They go play action now. Stidham. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
That's a jet sweep. This is Adams.
Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 33. The Raiders on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No. It appears they're going to mark him short of the 1st.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. Here's Stidham. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Stidham.
He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Here's Jacobs. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on the...
And he's got Renfrow in the end zone. Touchdown Raiders. Great effort there. With touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Raiders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead.
Carlson on for the PAT.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it was Hunter Renfrow who capped things off with a touchdown reception. Fielded right around the 8. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
And now out comes Houston.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter. Mills on first down.
And down he goes. Brought down, Raiders sack.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Working out of the gun, Mills.
Got an open man, it's Pringle. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it.
He's going to let it fly. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Oh, Stidham's actually going to throw it. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run, too. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Now it's Stidham.
The quick slant caught. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 3rd and goal, Stidham. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense there, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ballgame.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was Hunter Renfrow who capped things off with a touchdown reception.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Fielded right around the 8.
Well, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Las Vegas,
they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Houston, they can't quite